Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Let's Vibe, the channel where we talk about our feelings. Now, today I wanted to introduce two more varieties of Moonstone, and these two are particularly less common. And I wanted to start with Coffee Moonstone. So I'll let you get a good look at this. As you can see, Coffee Moonstone has a light brown color. It also has some reddish hues in the mix. And you can see with this piece, there's a lot of what we call adulorescence, and that's the way the light reflects off of Moonstone. And the term adulorescence, that came from the location of a historic Moonstone mine in Switzerland, in the Italian canton of Switzerland, at Mount Adula. And so it's just a big fancy word to describe the special sheen that Moonstone has in light. So, about 3 nights ago, we had this really intense full moon, and it was a full super blood moon eclipse. It was a super moon, and a total eclipse at the same time, and it was in the sign of Sagittarius, a mutable fire sign. Mutable just means it's one of those signs that has changing qualities about it. Like mutable signs act like transitions. And so the energy that night of the total eclipse, luckily I was able to watch a lot of it from my window. And I did walk outside to get a really good look at the moon as it was eclipsing. And I was able to see it when it was totally eclipsed and just covered in that dark red glow. It was really cool. But the energy that night was really intense because when there's an eclipse, the energy of the moon is amplified. And in this most recent full moon eclipse, it was the energy of Sagittarius that was amplified. And so it was a really fast moving, fiery kind of energy. And it was intense. I was really feeling it. It was just like a lot of motion, a lot of. It kind of made me want to dance a little bit. I was just really getting into it, and it made me want to reach for this coffee moonstone. And when I did some meditation with this moonstone on that night, it was a really interesting experience. This is a very earthy variety of moonstone, and I really felt that grounding energy, that very earthy energy. This was this moonstone is going to resonate with your sacral and root chakras. And you know, your root chakra is what connects you to the earth. So I did some meditation with this, and I was really feeling the earth energy along with that fiery Sagittarius energy from the moon. And to be honest, it actually kind of got a little bit a little bit overwhelming. It was a little too much because sometimes with full moons, moonstone can amplify energies. Now it's sort of it seems like a contradiction because moonstone is well known for being a dampener of energy, putting a dampener on emotions. But when we have full moons, and perhaps even with other astrological, or I guess I should say astronomical events, moonstone can, in certain cases, amplify energies. And so this coffee moonstone was really kind of working with that intense moon energy, and it got a little bit too much. And so I had to set this stone down. But I want to describe this stone as just being like really in the earth, and not so much in like a quiet, calm manner like with green moonstone. You know, green moonstone has this very contemplative earth energy. Coffee moonstone is like wanting to get outside and get dirty. It's a very physical, sensual kind of energy that I was feeling, and it worked really well with the Sagittarius energy. It was just too much with the eclipse and super moon, and it was too much energy. But it made me want to dance. It made me want to like run around outside and um, you know, get a little dirty and just get in that earthen energy. So I would definitely describe coffee moonstone not just as a grounding stone, but also it has energizing qualities as well. It's not the same type of energy as, say, citrine, um, or some other kind of masculine energy stone. You know, moonstone, including this coffee moonstone, is a very feminine stone. But nevertheless, this was like an active kind of energy. But I would say that it definitely had a very feminine quality to it. Um, Also, very, very sensual energy. Um, some sexuality energies in there as well. Not quite as intense as the black moonstone, but still very sensual, very physical. Really gets you in your body. So that's coffee moonstone. After setting that stone down, because the energy was getting a bit too much, I decided to pick up my peach and gray moonstone. So, do you even need? No, you don't need the beauty guru hand. So, this is my piece of gray and peach moonstone. The reason it's gray and peach is um, a lot of gray moonstone pieces have peach colors mixed in. I've never actually seen a fully gray colored moonstone. I'm sure that's out there. But in my case, um, when I think about the crystal shops that I've visited and seen gray moonstone, it was always mixed with peach. So in low light, the gray tones really come out. And when this stone is in direct sunlight, you can really see the peach hues. So, just from the color alone, this is a really different kind of moonstone from coffee moonstone. Peach gray moonstone, especially on that night of the full moon and the eclipse, is definitely, it's definitely got that dampener effect. So when I picked up this piece, I immediately felt all of that fiery, moving, transitioning energy. I felt it calm down very quickly, and I felt much more. I guess it was a feeling of stillness, calm. My energy was not moving around so much. It was just a much, much quieter energy and vibration. And you can kind of understand that if you think about the color of gray. Gray is kind of a dampener of a color, but it's also a color that represents the mysterious. When I think of gray, I tend to think of the hermit. you know, something very spiritual, something very mystical. And gray moonstone definitely embodies that mystery. Gray moonstone, I think, is, well, as I described, it's excellent for calming down and dampening the intense energies of a full moon. But it's also perfect for a new moon because a new moon is dark, obviously, and gray moonstone fits perfectly into that kind of spiritual, um, mysterious, unknown vibe that comes with the new moon. But I'm definitely glad I had this on hand during that full moon because it it was like putting the brakes on all of that energy, all of that Sagittarius energy, full moon energy. This gray peach moonstone really is like pumping the brakes. But the vibration is very, very different from coffee moonstone. This is not a, let's go outside and run around wild kind of energy. And it's not really a dancing energy or, sensual kind of energy. Gray Peach Moonstone is a very quiet, introspective, um, and self loving type of energy. Peach Moonstone. So it is fairly easy to find moonstone pieces that are peach colored without any gray. Um, but peach moonstone lends a very loving quality to the piece as a whole. And so that peach moonstone is going to give it loving vibrations, caring, um, soothing, compassionate kind of vibrations. And so there's an element of self-love and self-care. And again, it's a very feminine type of energy. Now, I would recommend peach gray moonstone for um, any kind of meditation, introspective exercise or practice that you might do. Um, I've read that it can be used for journeying, if you're into journeying, if that's something you practice. I personally have not used it for that, but I can definitely see the potential there. Um, so yeah, two very different energies when it comes to these these varieties. Now, I was thinking about songs, like what kind of song would fit these types of moonstone. I found a song for Coffee Moonstone pretty quickly, and I landed on the song Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox. I feel like I feel like um, that song has a very sensual vibe to it. It's sexy. It yeah, it's sensual, very physical, and I think that that fits the vibration of Coffee Moonstone perfectly. So I'm gonna include a link to both of the songs for these stones in the description box below. So for Coffee Moonstone, we have Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox. And for the Peach Gray Moonstone, I had a hard time settling on a song for this stone. But I finally decided um, a good song to get in tune with this stone's vibration is Luna by the Smashing Pumpkins. Now, I grew up in the 90s. I love Smashing Pumpkins. I'm not like a super fan or anything, but I definitely love um, those first two albums that the Smashing Pumpkins put out. And so Luna comes from that first album, Siamese Dream, and it's the very last song on the album. But I will, of course, include a link to that song and Shea Butter Baby in the description box. And I encourage you to just listen to those songs. If you have a piece of coffee or peach gray moonstone, hold the stone. Try to get in tune with those vibrations, that energy that I was talking about. And as always, I encourage you to leave a comment or question below. And I just want to thank you so much for vibing with me again.